Good morning. Time to make the coffee. So today it's going to be around 62 and it's sunny out. So I'm going to do a little bit of work in my garden. Yesterday the wind picked up and it got really chilly, but it was in the 60s. But I had a great time on Mother's Day. I had lunch at my son's house. Then my daughter and her family had us over for dinner. They had a seafood boil, and she even bought me some Gardein fish fillets, so that was tasty. But anyway, she got me this gorgeous little bouquet of flowers, and it's just my colors, green and orange, so I was really happy with that. So today I'm drinking that smooth and gentle coffee again. It seemed to be all right yesterday. I'm out of chocolate creamer, so I'm going to have it with hazelnut creamer, and that's good too. That used to be my favorite before I found the chocolate. So today I'm meeting a friend for breakfast, so that'll be nice. I haven't met a friend for breakfast in quite a while. And so even if you're trying to save money, it's important to get out once in a while with your friends and not always just isolate yourself in the house. And even if it's just, having a cup of coffee at McDonald's or something like that. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. But it's important to socialize somewhat too. Now, I'm not the most social person in the world. I like to get out with friends sometimes. What's the matter? Uh-oh, I think somebody has to go out. Oh, yes. You got to go out? Is it an emergency? All right. Okay, there you go. Let's see. Oh, look at all my starts out there. Oh, this door is getting heavier and heavier. I have to have it fixed. All right. I need to spray some WD-40 and clean the track. But anyway, these are all my starts that I have to get into the garden. They're doing fine. And over there is my beautiful fuchsia. But my deck is still a mess. So anyway, back to the coffee. Okay, here we are back at the coffee. So yesterday I did stop at Mark's on the way home. It was a different Mark's than the one that's near me here. And they did end up having a few sweet peppers, hardly any. Almost all that they have is hot peppers, which I don't like. So I did find all the peppers that I wanted. So that's a good thing. I wanted just different colors of red and yellow and orange peppers. Green peppers aren't my favorite. I like them, but I prefer the colored ones. So, all right, let's give the coffee a taste. Cheers. Yep, hazelnut's okay. Not as good as the chocolate caramel creamer, but if I go out today, I may take a run over to Walmart and get a couple of the chocolate caramel creamers. Although Monday is not a good time to go shopping at Walmart because they're almost always wiped out from the weekend. They don't restock until later. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably just end up making do. But I was happy to get the pepper plants. And not for $5.50 a little container. They were, I think 3 for $5. So that didn't break the bank, but I refuse to pay those high prices. I'll do without before I pay those high prices. So, okay, I'm going to enjoy my coffee, and I'm going to enjoy looking at my beautiful little bouquet here, and get ready and go have some breakfast with my friend. All right, well, I'm back at the budget book, and yesterday I did spend some money. I had to get a bigger pot for my Meyer lemon tree. Before I put that outside, I have to repot it. So I stopped at Ollie's, and I had to get some soil, some potting soil. So I got the pot and potting soil. And then I went to Dollar Tree and I got some baby diapers and a couple sponges because I want to make hanging baskets for my front porch. And I'm going to line it with baby diapers on the bottom to keep more moisture in. So anyway, yep, I'm on a roll here. But that was expected for May, so it is what it is. And then I wanted to show you here, I forgot I got to plant these. These are blood orange seeds that I got from a blood orange, and they really need to get in the ground. So I'm going to have lots of little blood orange trees. Maybe I'll grow them and give them as Christmas gifts and wish them well. So anyway, that's what I did yesterday. And like I said, I had a great time. I hope you guys had a good Mother's Day. Those of you that are moms or have a mom or have pets or whatever you're the mom of, houseplants, you can be a houseplant mom. So, but everybody should celebrate Mother's Day, whether you're a mother or not. Take yourself out for breakfast with some friends and gather up for Mother's Day. All right, so that's my budget book for today. Not the best track record here, but really this year, considering I'm trying to set up my garden for future me, I think I've done pretty well with what I've spent. I mean, I've done it on the cheap. If I had a lot of money, I'd get a landscaper in here and have them give me some pro tips and do some of the work. But when you're low income, you got to get some muscle going and do a lot of your own things. So anyway, that is my budget book for today, and I don't know. We'll see where the day takes me. All right, be back later. All right, well, so yesterday, while I was out, after I took my mom home, I stopped at Home Depot. Well, first I stopped at Lowe's because there's a Lowe's right down the street from her house. And, you know, they always have that section where they have the not so good looking flowers. Well, they used to sell a lot of them. They'd have like a 6-pack for $1 and stuff like that. And they weren't bad. Well, I went back there just to look. I wanted to see if I could find, you know, anything decent. Well, now everything is half off instead of the $1 trays. And oh my God, they were like beyond terrible. They were like past knocking at death's door. They were just awful. So needless to say, and a little pack of flowers were like $13. So even for dead flowers, you'd be paying $7. It's like, just keep them. I don't want them. I refuse. I just refuse to pay those prices. It's terrible. So then I walked out of there, didn't buy anything. I just looked around to see what the prices were. And like I said, a little pack of flowers was like $13 and something. Forget it. I'll do without flowers or plant seeds. So, you know, it's probably a good idea to learn a little bit of gardening, even if you're not into it. Even if you just plant flowers in containers on your porch, you might want to think about growing some of your own and then saving some seeds, especially with the basic flowers, you know, the marigolds and the zinnias. Impatiens, you can save seeds from them. They get like little pods that will just pop open and disperse the seeds, so you got to kind of put them in your hand. But so next year, I think I want to grow more flowers. Most of the starts that I've done have been vegetable plants, and that usually works out. I mean, some of them turn out well, some don't. Like I said, my peppers, for some reason, they just all kind of stunted. They all germinated really well, and then they stunted, and they didn't grow. They just never got past the condylion, whatever, leaves, which are the baby leaves. They never even developed true leaves. Very curious phenomena. I stuck them outside. I want to see what they're going to do once they're outside. I think maybe they got too much light because I had them in front of a south-facing window, which gets a lot of afternoon sun. It's like southwest. And then I had grow lights on top of that. So I think maybe that was the problem. I don't know. I should have either done grow lights or just the window. The problem with just the window is they get leggy, and none of these were leggy. They were just short, stubby little plants. So anyway, I'm learning. You know, I'm not a master gardener, but I'm learning along with you guys. So if you have any really great tips, or if you have any ideas about what happened to my little seedlings, my pepper seedlings, leave me a comment below. I always want to learn new things. I learn from you guys too. So anyway, it's a good idea to always have a plan B. You know, if the prices are just unbelievable out there. They're just unbelievable. Now, all these did have hanging baskets for under $10. So I bought a couple of those for my front porch. They're just begonias. They're really pretty. But what I want to do is put them in, I have baskets that I put out there every year. So I'm going to replant those in the basket. And then I have Wandering Jenny that just pops up everywhere. So those make a great spiller. So I want to combine those two. But what I want to do is line the basket with baby diapers, and then I bought cellulose sponges from Dollar Tree that I'm going to cut up, put on top of the diaper, and mix it with soil just to hold some moisture. And then I have some of those, I don't know what you call them. They're like the globes that you stick in the dirt. You fill them with water. So I have some of those. I also have some plant nannies, which are clay. I've had them for years, and you put a bottle in it upside down, and that slowly seeps water out. So that's what I'm going to do this year to keep my hanging baskets alive. If you have any great tips about watering your hanging baskets, other than putting in a drip system, because they're on either side of my door, so that wouldn't work, let me know what you do to keep your baskets watered and alive. So anyway, yeah, the prices were just horrendous. I went to Home Depot after, because that was on the way home too. Took a look to see if they had any peppers, and again, $5.50 for a little container. I mean, it was ridiculous. And all they had more or less were hot peppers. I didn't want hot peppers. I know a lot of people are into growing hot peppers, but they're not for me. With all my, you know, reflux and all that, I don't need to be putting hot peppers on top of that. So gardening has really become a big part of my life, and it's getting to be a bigger part of my life. And I just garden in pots, you know. I don't really garden in the ground. I mean, my front landscape has a lot of perennials in there that come back every year, and that's what I wanted, just a lot of perennials that bloom at different times. So that's kind of how I set up my front garden. I really don't plant annuals in the ground in the front there. I have a couple big pots that I plant annuals in. So almost 90% of my gardening is in pots. So even if you don't, have ground that you can plant in, think about getting yourself some pots. Or even if you're in an apartment and you like flowers and you're fortunate enough to have a balcony, make yourself a balcony garden or even an indoor garden with grow lights. You can get inexpensive grow lights on Amazon. I've seen them on Temu where they're not real expensive. But anyway, just some thoughts. Even if you just grow yourself some lettuce and you can, I mean, I've talked about it before. There's a fellow who has a channel, AeroGarden Experiments, and he grows all kinds of things in his indoor gardens. He's got the AeroGardens and he's got knockoff gardens, and he grows everything in those things. So, even if you grow enough just to make yourself a salad every day, that's great. So anyway, still have lots of seeds to plant. I want to get my summer garden in. I started amending the soil on a lot of my little raised beds, my city pickers. I still have 6 of them to go, plus all my pots. Now that does get to be a little bit expensive, but if you compost, and you can even compost, in an old bin of some sort where you just put your scraps in the bin, and you can get some compost starter, which is, I think, well, it used to be around $10 for a bag like this, but you don't use the whole bag. You just use some of it. You put the compost starter in there, and it helps break things down. You can do a bokashi system that uses inoculated grain to help break down food. Now that actually makes compost. It doesn't smell. I have one that I use. I'm kind of experimenting with different compost methods. And then what else? Oh, I have the I Do Garbo, which is a little more expensive in the beginning. You have to invest in the composter, but it doesn't really make compost. It makes more fertilizer because it just dries the food and chops it up. But, that's great for feeding your garden too. So anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit about that. I know, garden. But, it also goes in with saving money. So I'm looking forward to my garden this year. Hopefully the weather cooperates and gives me some good yields, because that's a big factor too. That's another thing. If you garden indoors, you don't have to worry about the weather. You can control your environment. So anyway, I got to get ready now and go have some breakfast with my friend. And then I'll be back later and we'll take a little walk in the garden maybe. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I do. So anyway, let me know in the comments below what you would like me to talk more about, since I talk a lot on this channel. What subjects would you like me to maybe explore and talk about more? What is interesting to you? What isn't interesting to you? And let me know in the comments below. I know some of you like the cooking, some of you like the gardening, some of you like all of it, even some of you that aren't gardeners, you kind of enjoy my garden. So, and I think that's great. So let me know in the comments below what your opinion is and what you think. All right, I'll be back. All right, well, today I ended up not spending any time in the garden. I went to breakfast with my friend, and then my daughter called, and so I went over there and spent a couple of hours over there. And then on the way home, I stopped at Tractor Supply and I got 3 little fruit trees. They were $14.99 and they had the ones I wanted. So I got a Honeycrisp. Now they're bare root, so I'm hoping it works. A Honeycrisp apple, a Golden Delicious apple, because you have to have 2 to cross-pollinate. And then I got a New Haven peach. The peach that I got at Mark's is just an ornamental peach, but I think because it is a peach, they can still cross-pollinate. So I got the, now I have the 4 fruit trees that I wanted, plus of course I have the plum. And then I checked online to see if, because these are just regular fruit trees, so before I bought them I wanted to see if there was any way to keep them small. And apparently if you keep them trimmed back, even just a regular size tree, fruit tree, as long as you keep them pruned, you can keep them as a small tree. So the trick is to, I guess, prune them in the summer. So I imagine after they, you know, bloom and everything, and then to just keep them pruned and you should be okay. So I'm hoping that's the case and that's accurate information, because I don't want to plant them in the ground because I don't want to end up having so much shade back there again that it's too shady for my garden. So while I was at Tractor Supply, I bought these purple passion asparagus. I had purple asparagus at one point, and you know, they were starting to come up, but then I had the dogs, they had a much bigger area. I didn't have my garden area fenced off, and of course they trampled them to death. So that was the end of my purple asparagus. So I thought I would try growing it again, and these are 3 roots for $4.99, and these are all the trees too. It's by DeGroot, and it's veteran owned. And if you buy the product before June 1st, then you can get a refund if they don't grow, and it's the same for the trees. So I thought as long as you keep your receipt, you're good to go. And then I found this for $14.99. I found this medicinal tea book, and it's really nice. It's a hardcover book, and it just has 50 ways to brew the cure for what ails you. So it has different recipes, and for whatever problem you have, like this is lavender tea, and it's good for tension, headaches, calming, treats insomnia, relieves stress, anxiety, and depression. So I thought this was really informative and a really nice book, and I like things like this. So anyway, I'm glad I found my trees, and that they only had 1 Honeycrisp apple left. So, and I'm hoping it'll grow. So we'll see. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.